on. Oh, Hornets lose. Hornets lose. Third game of the season. They are now 1-2. Congrats to the Brooklyn Nets for winning their first game of the season, strangling the Charlotte Hornets on their home court from the first buzzer to the last, scoring 133 points. I'm not going to tell you what the Hornets scored. Why? Because when you give up 133 points, 133, it does not matter. You suck. You suck. Let's do an exercise. Let's do an exercise. Imagine a team that shot 25% from 3-point. Can you imagine them winning a game? No? Fair. How about letting the other team go 8 for 8? Starting the game, 8 field goals made, nothing missed. Could you believe that they could win a game? No? You don't say. What about if they were down in the first quarter, 42-23? Could you believe it? No? Guess what? If you couldn't, congrats. You probably cheer for a better team. I have to cheer for that team that would happen to be the Charlotte Hornets, who I cheer for. 3 games into the season. 3 games. And we have yet to have a convincing first quarter. Like, I just want to turn on the game and just settle into it. Not have my blood pressure spike to like 150. I don't understand. We had 3 days. There's 3 days in between our last game to this one. And you just squat ass to start it. There is the injury report that came out before the game. Their starting center is missing. That means their tallest player was 6'9", and they out-rebounded us 46-39. The only sign of dominance that I saw was from maybe Mark Williams, who had like 6 dunks in the game. That's about it. And those were like alley-oop dunks and like, gimme dunks. Which, fine. And he also went 8 for 8 on the night. That's cool. Nice. Here's the thing. You were supposed to do that as the bigger team. Nobody wanted to take advantage of size. Nobody. And you know what? I don't believe they can. Even if they wanted to. I don't believe the Charlotte Hornets can take advantage of a game if they wanted to. 74 points in the paint. That's cool if you look at the box score. That's cool. You're like, oh, Massey, you're just wrong. I watched Gordon Hayward have a size advantage on Cam Thomas, who is spectacular, by the way, pure hooper. Cam Thomas, that is, not Gordon Hayward. He towered over Buddy and couldn't hit the turnaround 2. Watched Mark Williams put his back to the basket and could not get more than 2 inches closer to the basket. That was fun. That was amazing. Offense. What offense? Everyone was trying to be the hero. Everyone was trying to make me proud. They're like, oh, I got to step up for Massey. Let me just shoot us out of the fucking game. Let's just keep chucking up threes. LaMelo, I know I'm wearing your jersey, but god damn it, dude. He went 0 for 6 tonight. It's the first game. I think it was like 85 games. He had a long streak. It was his first game without a 3-point make. As a playmaker, he was amazing. Always amazing. But shooting-wise, him and Terry just... And it wasn't even the threes. It was the layups. He was forcing layups and just could not make it between. And it just could not make anything. And you know what? Maybe I could tolerate that. If you got back on defense after you shot abysmally. I'll get to defense later, but LaMelo, you let me down today. If I praise him some days, I gotta attack him on his bad days. And I get it. He just came back from surgery this month, and he's on minutes restriction. He only played like 21 minutes today, just 21. And that's fine. But don't go out there and play like you're fully healthy. Holy God. In his past couple games, field goals have been abysmal, but we kind of tolerated it. Like Hornets fans, we just turned a blind eye to it because, one, the first game was a win. Second, he had good stats everywhere else. So we kind of accepted it. But we need him to get back to all-star form. And we believe he can. I, without a doubt, believe LaMelo can get back above 20% field goal percentage. Because Christ, the only offense we had was Brandon Miller. He's doing it. He's growing on me. 22 points, 9 rebounds. He's the only one that got out there and just saw the size mismatch, saw the offense needed a spark, and he took over. He took over. The offense did not score until he scored. I think there was a point in the third quarter where we were going 5 minutes without a point. 5 whole minutes. Mind you, there's 24-second possessions, and it's 5 minutes for us to finally get a point. And that wasn't until he came off the bench, clocked in, and scored. Then everyone else got it going. Brandon Miller, he's starting to grow on me. I think he's my favorite now. Mark Williams, I no longer want to play with you anymore. Goodbye. Brandon Miller is now my best friend. Let me tell you something, man. Those Scoot Henderson over Brandon Miller talks are starting to look pretty bad now. I'm just saying. I know it's 3 games. I know it's just 3 games. But you gotta wonder. I don't think a lot of the coverage by the media and by Hornets fans who booed him on draft night are looking pretty good right now. Shout out to Brandon. Also, shout out to the defense. I don't know where you've been at, but you're needed. Last seen in game 1. Today, they didn't bring it. I take that back. That was a lazy take. Half-court defense, they were all right. But half-court, they were acceptable. Half-court, I can make some excuses for. But transition D, it's like as soon as they took a shot, Brooklyn was off to the races, and we could not catch up. 28 points. Fast break offense for the Nets to our 16. Coach Clifford said it best last year. You can't play like that. So I ask you this. Why are we playing like that? Shame. 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 Shame to you. Shame to your name. Shame to your cow. The Hornets ranked 11th in half-court offense after today's game. And now 27th in transition defense. That's not gonna cut it. That's not play-in worthy. That's not playoff worthy. That's jerk off worthy at most. If you get off the horrible D, scratch that. And listen, I don't know if you noticed, but in the next week, the offenses that we're going up against, they're not getting any slower. They're not getting any taller. I promise you, it will be a true test to see if we can either contain that or match that, and I don't see that happening. After today's game, I don't see that happening at all. Listen, Houston, they're rebuilding, and would you happen to know we're also rebuilding? All of our opponents that we face so far are rebuilders, and this is a good test to see where we stand amongst them. I mean, think of it as like building a sandcastle on the beach, all right? Atlanta, they used to have a nice, little castle. It used to be really big, and then, it knocked over a little bit, and they're trying to build it back up to how it previously was. That's fine. Detroit, they're kind of rebuilding with like wet sand, all right? But like at least we can kind of see that they're building a castle. We can kind of see what they're rebuilding, right? Brooklyn, they used to have like a kingdom. I mean, theirs was just towering. It was nice. 3 pillars. You were in awe, and that got knocked down. And they're just rebuilding fast. Okay, they're rebuilding to that glory. You can see it. The Hornets, they took a shit on the beach and are trying to convince everyone on the beach that it's a sandcastle. That's what I saw tonight. That's what I've been seeing for the past 2 games, seasons, existence. I knew this game was going to be a long one when I saw the starting lineup and it had Cam Thomas starting. I said, well, we're goners. We're goners. This kid had 36 points in his first game, 30 points his second game against Dallas, I think. Yeah, Dallas. And tonight put up 32. This kid did all of that, by the way, off the bench. Off the bench. And he started today. And off of the defense that we played the game before, I knew we were goners. And credit to the defense, I'll give them this. They played their defense the best that they could at half court. At half court. They were bodying him and Mikal Bridges. They're hoopers. No doubt about it. They can play iso ball. They can play hero ball because they just have that bag, all right? And it doesn't matter how good of a defense you put on some hoopers, shots are just going to go in. That's fine. I can live with that. Letting Ben Simmons go off, letting Dorian Finney-Smith almost get a 20-piece on you, you call that defense? That's humiliation. That's humiliating. I sincerely believe Cam Thomas could have had 50 points tonight had it not been for Brandon Miller coming in and just putting that boy in hell. Oh my God. I can't stop raving about Brandon Miller. When do you think he will start? I think he'll start soon. I give it mid-November. Mid-November, we will see Brandon Miller as a starter, and it will be glorious. Because, man. So, it's no exaggeration when I say Wednesday will be a must-win for Charlotte. Must win. We got to get back to 500 at least. We cannot... We can't put my life to hell. We can't start off mediocre. Not again. Not again. Not with the lineup that we have. Talent that we have in reserve. James Bouknight, Bryce McGowens, Nick Smith Jr., all these other players who were just hurt, they're coming back. We got Miles Bridges in the reserves. We're trying to hold down the fort until those players come back. The talent we have already should be good enough to at least be at 500 ball. At least. We need this win on Wednesday. Fine. Forget about what happened in this homestand. 1-2. Fine. Go to Houston, get a dub, and we'll circle back here. That is it. If you like this video, thank you so much. At least leave a like. Comment on how miserable I look. I don't know. Or how much better your team is. Just rub it in. I don't care.